Hey everybody, welcome to Box Talk News. Sorry that we are running a little bit late today, but we had some medical things that we
It's
were
my
dealing
fault.
with. Dee was trying to get back
My
to us
fault.
from the edge of eternity. She's made it back, and we're here. So sorry again, guys, that we were about 15 minutes late getting started today, but we're gonna jump right in and kind of let you know what's going on right now and go from there. So. One thing that I wanted to touch base on right off the bat, obviously, is that Dee's been going through some interesting things that have been happening. I just wanted her to kind of touch base. She's on a little bit of medication, so bear with her. Uh, if there's a couple of things that come through, you're like, "What? What was that about?" Yeah, but she's got some pretty serious stuff going on. I'm gonna let her talk to you about that more than I can really speak to. So I'm going to jump on while you're talking, Dee. I'm going to try to jump on my phone and get onto Paranormal Warehouse and talk to everybody over here.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
So, oh gosh, really, you're gonna make me talk? Okay, guys,
we can talk
a little bit different,
a little bit different.
if I sound a little bit different, it's because I'm medicated.
She is
I,
medicated.
I'm on like a cocktail of medications, and they have me very loopy. Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable pause. Yes.
As I stare.
Yep.
Mm. But guys, it started about 2 weeks ago. I started to have pain in the by my shoulder blade in the back, and I still can't really move my arm the way I can move this one. Um, it hurts really bad. The pain radiates down all the way down to my fingers. These fingers are numb, and I went to the doctor, and they thought, oh, it's just a pinched nerve, whatever. So they gave me, they always just want to do pain management. Um, let's manage the pain. They're not getting to the root of the problem. But as time went on, it was getting worse and worse. And I had a CT scan done, and it showed on the CAT scan showed that there was inflammation there. The nerve, it's like an entrapped nerve, but there's something pushing on the scapula, and now that's what we're trying to figure out. I went today to another clinic and had some more lab work done. And now next week I have to have. They scheduled an MRI for next week because what they want to make sure my doctor is hoping and if all of you can just send your healing thoughts and prayers because I don't want to hear this bad news, but it could be a tumor pushing on the scapula, and that's what we don't want because I don't want to hear that word. But anywho, that's what I'm dealing with right now, and so hopefully it's just inflammation, and that's what's pressing on the scapula because I don't want it to be anything else. Because we got to take this on tour.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a big concern, and it's interesting because Dee and I talked because we're like, what's going on? Obviously, I'm worried about her, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And I told her what I thought it was, and she was like, "Don't tell me that." And it seems like that's probably what it is. So,
He
yeah,
always knows.
yeah. I don't like being the quote unquote, psychic doctor. That's more my mom's gig. But from time to time, when I'm close to people, I pick up on things, and I think sometimes it's better just to say it than to, hold it back. Might as well
And you're
do it.
always usually you're always right though. I remember you said I think it's something there, and you said it's going to be something that's hard to get to. And sure enough, that's what they told me, that the mass is in an odd location. So then
Right.
I was thinking in my head, wow, Moonie MD.
Mooney MD, Mooney Andy, Mooney MD. I like it. Yeah, we can just
Yeah,
tie the whole thing in together. It'd all be great.
yeah,
Yeah,
Moonie
absolutely.
MD. So I need to get better because we've got plans
We
for
do have
box.
plans.
Lots of plans.
Yeah, we're going to be. Are we announcing this, or are we going to hold off on it, D? I don't know. We've been talking. You've been on a lot of medication. I don't know what's right and wrong to say at this point. So,
Oh my God.
and this is the laugh that's coming out tonight is going to be loopy, loopy,
Oh, I love it, Loopty.
loopy.
Oh my God, Moon.
Yes,
Oh my God, I just realized something.
yes.
I'm not even live on Mixler.
D, I'm going to say probably go ahead and start the live stream over on Mixler. So those folks can probably hear because they're probably like, "What the hell is happening right now? Where is D?" I've been putting up all these cryptic messages, and they're probably like, "Oh my God, she's dead. She's dead." So let's not do that. Yeah.
Dee's dead.
D,
Dead
just
Dee.
you start the Mixler thing. I'm going to talk a little bit. You get on your Mixler horse
Yes,
there. I'm
you
going to do
talk
this.
and I'll find Mixler.
Okay, and really quickly, everybody who's in here, and I know I'm missing a bunch of people, but Jessica, Tracy, James, Kim, everybody, thanks for tuning in. And as always, love you guys. Thank you for always supporting us. We really appreciate it. And I know we've been off for a little while now with crazy schedules and sicknesses and stuff like that. And it's just so awesome that you guys stick with us and support everything. So thank you, love you guys. And a couple of cool things. First, I'm going to talk about first. You see my hair? I want to just talk to this point here really quickly. See, my hair is kind of like I'm not a grease ball. I swear to God, I took a shower today, but I went and I got this massage because I got it for my birthday. My parents were really nice and got me this certificate, gift certificate for a massage. So I went to the massage today and got the normal massage thing, but it was the weirdest thing. I've never had this happen. This woman like put oil on her hands and then started like rubbing it through my hair, give me like the scalp massage. So by the time I came out of the massage, I was like a total greaser. I was like, oh my God. And I didn't have time to take a shower. So believe me, I swear I'm not dirty. It's yeah, I'm not a greaser. I promise. It's just oh, Dee's just gonna take off. She's out of here.
I'm not
Yeah,
leaving.
she just took off. She took off.
I'm right here.
And the other thing that she's doing is she's promoting her other show on our show, which I think is just kind of crappy. But that's just me, huh?
What? How
Hey,
do I promote? What?
well, look behind you, Dee.
What?
It's just wrong. I mean, it's just wrong, guys.
Oh my God, look.
Yeah, I looked. That's why I was talking about it. This can be a long show. Hey, Tracy, we're doing pretty well. I'm doing okay. Dee is doing great right now. She is doing awesome. She's not feeling a whole lot right now, so that's a good thing. She's doing okay,
Good.
and she's getting Mixler all set to go. So, for those of you who don't know that weren't able to tune in for the last episode of Box Talk News, I think we're going to do a little bit differently with this show. As always, we're going to just kind of let it flow and go for it. But we don't really ever come in with a major plan. It just kind of universe
Mhm.
takes over and everything works out. And we like that. So, but Box Talk's new, not Box Talk News is going to focus more on, we're just going to kind of go with the subject and talk to you guys about it. And Dee's going to ask me some questions. I'm going to ask Dee some questions, and we're going to have you guys chime in and kind of let it go from there. But the interesting thing that's happening right now that I'm realizing as we're doing this is that Dee never gave us a subject for this week. So we're going to have to do this one on the fly. Um, I'm taking a lot of the pressure, a lot of the heat off of her because she's on a lot of meds. And when there's not the meds, there's the pain. So we're going to go ahead and give her the pass on this one. But we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things that are happening in the world of the paranormal. I just speaking of a couple of things that I've heard recently that's kind of interesting. Everybody knows about Ed and Lorraine's Paranormal Museum out in Connecticut, and then Lorraine has been running it, and I think it's under some kind of um, they're moving it somewhere. There was some zoning or something like that. I can't really speak to it because I'm not 100% sure about how that all went. But basically, John Zaffis also has his museum, which used to be in the basement of his house, and then he moved it to a kind of shed sort of thing out back of his house. So he's got that museum too. And now I guess Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures has his own, paranormal museum sort of thing. I'm not too positive about that whole deal, but it's actually in Las Vegas or near Las Vegas or something like that. But people have been telling me that they've actually been seeing a lot of ads for it on the back of like cabs and things like that. So he's actually out advertising that, and I don't have a whole lot of information as to what he's got going on there. But I think it is interesting to note that we've got all these new kind of paranormal museums popping up,
Yeah.
and you think about the amount of energy that must be in these places, getting all these cursed and haunted and possessed items all in one spot. I think it kind of begs the question, how is it protected? Now, I know for Ed and Lorraine, they were big believers and participants in the Catholic Church, and a lot of that stuff was kind of sanctioned by the Catholic Church, and I know that they had some blessings done on those items and protected. And I think John, I've been to his museum a couple of times. I think that he had a lot of that done too, but I'm not sure what Zach's belief system is, or whatever the case might be, and I'm just kind of curious as to how these things are being, protected and held there, and what kind of energy is actually being kind of sent out into the world from that specific location. So it does really kind of beg that sort of question. So I don't know, Dee, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, hold on.
Okay, Dee's got some medication issues happening right now, so
I was gonna answer and then your picture. You know how I tell you when we're on Skype and all I see is your picture and it makes me laugh?
yes.
That's exactly what happened right now.
Okay, good deal. That's
Sorry.
fair. No,
I'm
it's okay.
sorry. It's because I'm trying to get Mixler started and it's not
Oh,
working.
you still don't have Mixler started. Okay, so I'm going
No.
to hold that thought really quickly. I'm going to go to some comments that we have in the chat room on
Yes,
Paranormal
do that.
Warehouse. Tara, hi from Denver. I'm not too far from you. Good to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Janet, hello from Wichita. Love Wichita. I hope I'm back out there again to speak this year. We got James Salaman. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Salamone. Solomon. Solomon. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, he says he's a little bit skeptical of Zach Baggins. I know that that's kind of a
Yeah.
standard thing, guys. Everybody has their opinions, and we respect everybody's opinion on everybody and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
I admit I am too. I've had some situations where Kevin actually felt like he's been on the up and up. So I agree with you. You got to worry about that kind of stuff, and I think that that's what I'm really getting into is without a strong belief system, not just religion, but just a belief system in general
Hmm.
that I know of. How do you protect yourself and protect those items? I just don't get it. And then Brenda is saying that's a paranormal time boom, which I'm assuming is mom. Brenda, yeah, I agree. I think that that's a really bad idea. Hi, Tim. Thanks for coming in. Um, Stephanie, the agenda tonight, we're talking about the new paranormal museum that Zach Baggins has out near Las Vegas. Hey, Kristen. Good to hear. I've been home and I haven't had talked to you. It's good to hear. Kristen from the team is on here.
Cool.
Um, Kim's from Maryland. Hi, Kim. Let's see here. Jessica, his belief system, he believes he's God. LOL.
That's true though.
That's, yeah, sometimes there's an ego that goes back behind it. Joey Kentucky, hi, how are ya? Um, let's see. Kim says to call her Von Spas. Von Spas. I like it.
What?
We're going to call you Von Spas. And I know Dee's going to like that one a lot.
I am.
Tim, I'm sorry you're not having a good night. I'm glad you can make it, and hopefully we can make you laugh, make you a little bit happy. Um, Paranormal Warehouse, which I think we're on right now. But hey, Dee, I saw your comment on my post about being on ectoplasm. We'll have you on in the near future. So Dee, ectoplasm,
Yay.
near future, it's going to happen. Good deal. Um,
Awesome.
but yeah, guys, I guess that's my question for you while Dee's still getting everything set up. What do you guys think? I mean, what do you think about this paranormal museum out in Las Vegas? And, we know so little about it. And I think the concern that I have is that everybody's got different methods of ghost hunting, but from the little that I've actually seen of that show, the Ghost Adventure show, it seems like there's a lot of taunting and disrespect and screaming and yelling and banging and
Hmm.
all the stuff that I don't like to do. Because you just, in my opinion, you don't treat spirits that way. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, how do you think that this is going to go having, truly haunted and possessed items in a location? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Hmm. You know, I think because okay, you're talking about how the taunting and all that.
Right.
And the item, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if these items really do have things attached to them,
Hmm.
um I don't see them being comfortable. And it sounds funny talking about objects having feelings, like, oh, that object's. But you know what I'm saying, right? I don't see them being comfortable being in a place that, is owned by somebody that does a lot of taunting and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, and I would totally agree with you. Just and again, I think it ties back into belief system.
Hmm.
How are you protecting yourself? How are you protecting your employees? How are you protecting the people that are there? Um,
There. What'd you say there like that?
there.
Oh, real
Uh,
quick, real quick. I've got Mixler going. Can I name it Box Talk News Loopy D?
yes, please do it.
Okay.
Loop D. It's not Loopy D. It's Loop D.
Loop D.
Loop
Okay,
D.
let's change.
But yeah, guys, I mean that's just such. If you think about just the kind of strange idea of doing that, of taking all these haunted items, and if you didn't have a really strong belief system of some sort, whether it's spiritual or Catholic or Jewish or whatever,
Hmm.
and you yourself are kind of a taunter, you're somebody out there kind of pushing and prodding and trying to get the most out of a situation that you can. I think it's dangerous to have the place, number one, and then to even invite the public in seems like a bad idea, even if they do sign a waiver. Like Christine is saying, they basically have to sign a waiver before they go in, and I understand that part of it, but you're still putting a lot of people in danger,
Yeah.
spiritually, physically, all those kind of different things. It seems like a real problem. Colette, hi in Liverpool. Thanks for tuning in. We have had so many people from Australia and
I
England, and
know.
you
That's
guys are.
awesome.
It's amazing. It's just so cool that you guys are able to tune in and kind of see what our world looks like over here and share what's going on over on your side of the world. We really do appreciate that. There's somebody named Daniel Klaus. I'm not sure.
Klaus, Klaus,
Klaus
Klaus.
Klamahasi says, Maddie, we should get him on the ribbon cutting.
No.
Daniel, actually, that is a good idea. If we can somehow get a hold of
No.
Maddie, I think we need to get him out there as soon as possible. If you can make any calls, you probably have a better tie-in with that.
Oh my
Please,
God, no.
please get in touch with
Don't
Maddie and
start with the Maddie.
see if you can get in touch with him. See if we can get that rolling.
Oh my
So
God.
thank you, Daniel Klomhaus, for tuning in. Um, James says, and everything on that show is demonic or demon based. Yeah, it seems like it. It really is. And I know we've touched base on this show. I mean, with Amityville and some other crazy demonic stuff that's gone on, but try not to focus on it. You just go out there and find out what exactly is going on, and they do seem to really focus on the demonic aspect of things. Um, Tara, or Tara. I agree on not provoking spirits. I don't see any good coming from that.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean that's when I
It's disrespectful.
yeah, I mean whenever I do a lecture, that's my number one thing. Do not disrespect the spirits. Treat them as you want to be treated. It's
Yeah.
kind of that human rule. I mean, and I've said this before, so sorry for repeating myself, but these people have lived, died, and moved on to the other side. Just the people who've lived here, they're on a higher plane than we are, and you see these, let's be honest, idiots going in and just screaming and yelling and
Yeah.
commanding and doing all these crazy, scratch me, burn me, turn on the lights, do this, do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Why,
yeah.
why would you ever respond to that? I mean, if you're a spirit, why would you respond to that unless you're going to be angry and do something just to keep them quiet? I mean, it just makes sense to me.
Exactly. Yeah. And real quick, I just want to let everybody know, people that are listening on Paranormal Warehouse, if some of you like to listen to us on both platforms, I've already got the mixer going. So,
Yeah, she already
yay.
did. It only took 32 minutes. She's got it up and running. Everything is great. We're ready to.
It's funny. It never takes me that long, but
No, medication will do that to you.
it will. It
And
will.
that's the other thing. Dee will not be doing any spirit communication in her state that she's in right now. That's not happening, guys. So
No.
yeah, we're just not going to let that happen.
Mm-mm.
That's an important thing that everybody needs to know.
Aw, thank you, Chris. You're looking out for me.
I'm good like that.
Yay.
Yay! I'm just going through some. We've got some great comments coming in, guys. On people on Paranormal Warehouse, please feel free to share the video, give us likes, stuff like that. That really helps us out, gets the word out about the show. We've already been really happy about how successful the show's been, but of course, we'd like to get the word out to more people. And since we're doing 2 nights a week now, we got Box Talk News on Wednesday, and then we have Box Talk with Moonie and Dee regular show that comes up on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We're really trying to get the word out that we're going to be on a lot and harassing you guys, and hopefully you'll put up with us. It's really important, so thank you for doing that. Jan Falls just got here. Catch me up, please. Jan, we're talking about the paranormal museums that are out there right now. The two in
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut, and then Zach's new one that he has in Nevada. And I guess I kind of started the whole thing by saying I'm concerned. Because I don't know. I've never had a conversation with him about his belief system or how he plans to
Mm-hmm.
contain the objects that are there, but I just call it a psychic vibe, spidey sense, whatever. I'm just not getting a good feeling that it's really being protected or that, and this is just me talking, but I don't think they really care. Honestly, I think it's more a thing for sensationalism than anything else, and it does concern me. So just wanted to put that out there.
And that's a really good, it is a good point because it's true. Like I'm not sure that they would be. Then again, you don't know. They could be doing some sort of protection or some sort of, but I just don't. I don't see that happening.
Right. I could be completely wrong, but I'm just
Hmm.
not getting that vibe, guys. I just don't feel that they're really looking out for themselves or anybody else who's out there.
Yeah.
We got Kristen Jeffers, who is a member of the Ghost Box Paranormal Society. Love you, Kristen. So I'd say whoever is working there needs to watch themselves along with anyone else who's entering it. I totally agree with you. Not completely knowing the situation, but they're advertising now all over Las Vegas apparently on the back of taxis and billboards and all
Hmm.
kinds of stuff. And think about the people who get out to Vegas and the mindset that they're in. Believe me, because I go all the time. I'm a crazy person when I get to Vegas. I love Vegas. Are they really grounded and protected and ready to go into that kind of situation, or is it, oh my God, let's go see a demonic haunted item and meet Zach Baggins? And I just think that you're opening yourself up to a lot of negativity there. And if I'm wrong, please, I will be the first one to be corrected, and I'd be happy to talk to them directly about this. But
Hmm.
I'm not feeling good about it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dangerous. I mean, hopefully they've done something or they have a some sort of a ritual or some sort of protection ritual that they do when they accept items because let's face it, a lot of the items that he does have there, they have a very strong history and dark history. And
Right.
I mean, some of these things just being around them, I mean, it's dangerous for the people that go in there and see it and look at them, and it's one of those things. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, people are. I'd be curious. I mean, all of us would be. I'd be like, "Ooh, I want to go see what's in there," but at the same time, I think it's a big risk. You
Yeah,
know?
I totally agree. Um, Tara says, especially having all those items in one place, the energy is already there. Provoking that
Uh-huh.
just doesn't seem safe. What about stuff following you home? I think that could happen. I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are under the misconception that spirit energy stays with an item or stays in a location. It's free flowing energy. I mean, it makes its own choice. It's going to go wherever it chooses to go. So, there's a lot of people who come to my events who are like, oh, can you guarantee me that the spirits are going to stay here? No. You're putting yourself in a position where you're going out and you're speaking to spirits. If they like your energy, they might stay with you for that reason. If you disrespect them, they might stay with you for that reason. So you've got to be really careful, guys. I mean,
And that's
I
the
feel like you're just
thing. Yeah.
provoking, is what it sounds like to me.
And you never really know, right? Like when you go somewhere and somebody like somebody gets a spirit attachment, you never really know the reason. Like, I mean, it could be like you said, that the spirit likes that person or the opposite. But it's one of those things. I mean, it could happen. It could happen, and if it does, hopefully the spirit likes you.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. Um, okay, I'm reading off some great comments here. I apologize, but I think these are just awesome. Um, let's see here. Somebody wants to know how to get a hold of Dan Kloss. Um, Actually, I would go through Maddie to do that if you get a chance. That would be my number one connection for Dan if you get in touch with him. Kim is saying, last time I went to Gettysburg, I found some old items in a wooded area. I left it because I didn't want to upset anything there. That's what I think the museums need to do. I don't agree with people putting items in to provoke. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes I think it's just best left in that location. And
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, a personal pet peeve, the thing that drives me crazy, because we get tons of emails and phone calls of people that we go and do investigations for, and we love doing that. But the one that drives me nuts, well, there's two. The first one is when somebody uses a ghost box and then they make something happen or something comes to them and then they go, what do I do now? And I said, well, you should have listened to me to begin with. But that's number one. The second one is when somebody is so dumb to take an item from a location, especially when there's been a warning out on the location. Don't remove anything, don't take anything, it's a bad idea. A lot of Indian burial ground and sacred land and things like that, and some old buildings that people talk about,
Hmm.
and they go and they take an item or whatever the case might be, and then they're upset because, oh, what do I do now? Well, you shouldn't have done what you did in the first place, and you got to live with that karmic lesson. Number one. Number two, you're going to have to take it back. You personally are going to have to take it back, return it, and out loud ask for forgiveness. That's really the only way that you're going to possibly stop the activity, and there's no
Yeah.
guarantee in that either.
Hmm. Sorry, you stopped
So
talking
D,
when I was
so
taking a
D,
drink.
that was perfect. Yeah, D, that was great. Thank you. Our timing is really good tonight. Um, no, it's okay. I'm just kidding. Tara, it's almost treated like a joke just to make money. I hope not, though. Yeah, there are a lot of those places that are out there. Kind of a funny, quick story I'll tell you guys on these lines, but not necessarily on these lines, is that when I first started doing events out in different locations, it was funny because first off, we were still considered crazy people before ghost hunters came on TV. We were just nuts.
You crazy?
I
Wow.
know that's insane. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, people used to just be like, "Nope, no thanks, no ghost hunters in my place, goodbye." And then after we went through that stage, then everybody wanted to be haunted because they wanted a TV show, a book, a movie, something about their
Yeah.
location. So we had some of these locations that would bring us in, so, oh, hold one of your Ghost Hunter University events here. It'll be awesome. And we'd hold the event there, and we'd find little to no activity, and they would actually get mad at us like we were supposed to bring ghosts with us into the location so that they could be famous and haunted.
Or
So,
like they wanted you to just fake evidence or something.
oh, yeah, that's the number one thing right off the bat. They want you to come in and go, yeah, you're super haunted. That'll be $10,000. And when you go in there and you just say, hey, listen, we didn't find anything. Sorry. Maybe somebody else will. They get really upset about that. And I think that's still happening today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And a lot of the properties that we used to go to that were kind of virgin territory at the time now are just overrun by investigators and thrill seekers and stuff like that, and they really pride themselves on being haunted. And some of those locations, I won't name any, but some of them really didn't have that much activity to begin with, let alone
Hmm.
today after they've been run over by hundreds of thousands of investigators. So it's just really interesting.
You know, and that's what ha like some of the locations, I've heard and I've read articles. Sometimes certain groups will go out there and they won't get any evidence. They won't get any evidence of any type of haunting or anything. But the people that live there, they swear by it. They're like, no, these things are happening. And then I often wonder if it happens because whatever's there doesn't want to be outed. You know what I mean?
Oh, completely. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, and I also think that there's comfort with certain spirits too. I mean, do you, if you get some evangelist type of people that come to your front door, you can answer the front door? No, you probably don't want to hear the spiel that they have to give you. So, it's kind of the same idea with spirits. Are you going to really make yourself known if you don't know the people and you don't feel comfortable talking to them? Probably not.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how that works. So,
Yeah, and so sometimes it's that, and then I feel bad sometimes for the people that let's say their house is haunted or they do experience things and they have a group come out and investigate, they find nothing, and then they're labeled now as, well, there's nothing going on,
right.
but like I said, they're not lying, and then they're labeled as liars or fakers, and it could be that just whatever's there doesn't want to be out, it doesn't want to be found out, so it's really complicated. It's you got I think it takes more than one investigation to
Yeah.
really get to the bottom of it.
Well, I've seen both sides of that. On one side, yeah, there's a good thing about some of these shows now that are kind of going into these locations and groups mainly, that are kind of going in for 2 and 3 days at a time to try to see if they can capture activity. Because a lot
Uh-huh.
of the time, you just came in on the wrong day, or the spirits have to get comfortable with communicating with you. There's all sorts of different things that happen. So I think that that's a good thing on a lot of levels. I'm super spoiled, and my team is not always thrilled with me, because everybody likes to investigate. And what'll happen when we do our investigations, I think Kristen could probably attest to this one. She's in the chat room. But they finally made it so that they go in first and do the investigation with all the other equipment and get signs and readings and all sorts of different
Mm-hmm.
things before I bring the box in. Because once I bring the box in, what would be a 5 or 6 day investigation turns into a 20-minute box session. We have all the answers and it's done. So I can kind of understand how it wouldn't be fun for other investigators to go in with me, because I walk in and say, okay, what's going on here? And then they just kind of tell us everything, who's there, everybody who's there, everything that's happened, and we get
Mm-hmm.
all the answers right then and there. So yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing for my team sometimes. But I think in general it's a good thing. Really quickly, Kristen, jumping in again. The other thing I'd say to remember is if you're not in a mental or physical weakened state, the other thing I'd say is to remember that if you are in a mental or physically weakened state, do not go in any of these places since your protection is down. Such a good point.
True. Yes. Very true. And then Bobby has a comment in the mixer. She says, "What
We don't
about?"
take Mixler questions here. I'm sorry.
Be quiet. Bobby says, "How about conjuring spirits at a location?" She's known of people that do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of double-edged sword for me. Conjuring spirits. Okay, so if you're talking about reaching out to spirits to communicate and speak, that's one thing. That's kind of a low form of necromancy in a way, and
Hmm.
I'm guilty of that one. I take responsibility for that. If you're talking about ritualistic, actual summoning, personally, I'm 100% against that. I just think it's a bad
Hmm.
idea. I'm always of the pet cemetery theory, which is whatever you try to summon and bring back will never be the thing that it originally was. It's a changed energy. So
Yeah.
I don't ever trust anything like that. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. Um, and what do you think about? I mean, well, like she said, conjuring spirits. What about people when they want to do a séance at locations?
Again, I'm kind of stuck on this one because okay, when I do a box session and it's a gallery reading and we're
Hmm.
reaching out to people's relatives and guides and things like we've done it on
Hmm.
the air. I mean, before, let's be honest. What is it? It's an electronic séance. That's what
Uh-huh.
it is.
Yeah.
We're literally bringing our energies together with intent to communicate with the other side. So that's a séance. If you are going to do a séance, the one thing that I would beg you to do is make sure that you bring in a reputable, and I stress the term reputable medium with you to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go in there with your friends and maybe somebody feels like they might have some psychic ability or something like that, I swear to God, you are opening up Pandora's box. It's a terrible,
Oh
terrible
God, yeah.
idea. And again, these are the phone calls that we get later from people that are like, "Oh my God, went to this location, did this, this, and that, and now we're being followed by all these terrible, terrible things. Can you help?" So please, please be careful. And you are not an expert if you've watched 3 episodes of a TV show. You are not an expert to go out in the field. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. Always try to go out with seasoned investigators who have a good reputation. Um, and if you're interested in the psychic aspect of it, definitely stick with some people who have a good reputation there as
Yeah.
well. I just want to jump back in because I'm getting behind on this. Jan Falls, I think once you make the leap from sincere investigation to entertainment, getting the ratings, you've lost sight of what's important. I totally agree with that. If you're strictly doing these things to gain followers or get ratings or whatever the case might be,
Hmm.
you've lost your intent. And I think you lose ability when that happens. That's just my opinion. I think from a karma standpoint, I think you lose ability. So that's how I see it.
I agree with you. I
Uh,
totally agree with you.
I'm gonna jump back in again. I'm sorry, I'm just so far back in the chat room. Dee, do we know how long we're going tonight? By the way, I know this is a new show for us, so I'm not sure what our time slot is.
I think I know we can go more than an hour. Didn't we say two?
I thought we said two, but I just want to make sure. If anybody's out there at Paranormal Warehouse and we need to be cut off early, please send us a message and let us know. Okay, so Colette says, I'm part of a paranormal team, a nonprofit organization, and we always protect ourselves. And I like to find the history of the place, and you should respect the spirits at all times. Totally agree. It's all about respect. That's
Hmm.
if I have one thing to teach, that's what it's about. It's respect. The thing that I do a little bit different, Colette, and it's not that you should do it differently, but the thing that I think gets more validation for me is when I go into a location, somebody contacts us. We go into a location, we don't know anything about the property going in other than there's been some sort of paranormal happening. And then we go in and collect evidence, take that back to the homeowners or the business owner and present it to them and let them come back and tell you, wow, that makes sense, or no, that doesn't make any sense at all. I think there's more of a sense of validation for me in that, but I completely agree with you about the respect aspect of things.
Hmm. There's another comment here in Mixer. It says, I have a question, but I know I haven't. Well, hold on. I, sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
Medication. Medication. No. Um,
Medication, it's a beautiful thing.
I have a question, but I know spirit boards, divot box, ritual, black magic. I know they will attract or attach. I guess trying to say attach to you.
Right.
I want to know what you guys think on that.
Can I jump in on that one first, T?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Please never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever use a spirit board or the box. It's a terrible idea. And the reason that I say that, and I've explained this before, but I'll be real clear about this. When I first started doing EVP communication, I used a recorder. So Basically, that's a machine that's actually recording the voice, absorbing the energy, taking in all that. I was never surrendering my energy to make that happen. When I use the Ghost Box, same type of thing. That box works as a machine that protects
Hmm.
me, and I power it and receive messages back through. So the problem that you've got when you have a spirit board or a Divic box or whatever the case might be is you're literally just calling out to the universe and you're saying, whoever's out there, come and talk to me. And the only thing that you're going to attract from that, in my opinion, from my experience, is the lowest level of spirit form, which of course is demonic
Yeah.
entities. And demonic entities will attach quickly. They'll tell you anything that you want to hear. And the reason for that is because the more energy you put into communicating with them, more powerful that they get. And at that point, you're running into risk of oppression. You're running into risk of occupation or possession. So I tell people, please never ever do that. It's just not a good idea. There's so many better ways that you can communicate. Just go get a digital recorder from Walmart and literally
Yeah.
hold it. I'm happy if anybody ever wants to contact me and find out how I first started doing EVP sessions and like a question and answer interview. I established ground rules. I established how it worked, and I never surrendered my energy to any spirit that way. So I'm happy. Message me privately. I'll give you the entire rundown. I promise you.
Awesome. Message Moonie. He'll tell you.
Message me. That's what I do. Um, really quickly, Gem Falls. I'm sure you can chase spirits away either by known means or just like you said, trampling through their space until they no longer want to be there. Yeah, I've seen it many times. One of the key places that I would say that I've seen a major difference in personally. I always have to say personally, so I don't represent anybody else. Waverly Hill Sanatorium. When we went there years and years and years ago, and we did a first private investigation and scouted the location. Oh my God, how active was that place? And then we did a Ghost Hunter University with about 100 people, and again, insanely active shadow people. Wrote about it in my book. Amazing place. The next time we went back, it just seemed like it was run down. It just seemed like the spirits there were tired of people coming through and asking the same questions and being disrespectful, and the TV shows and all sorts of different things. So, yeah, I think that eventually, just like we would, spirits do get tired of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know what I'm noticing right now?
Yes.
Everybody's on Paranormal Warehouse. There's not many people on Mixler.
Well,
I'm getting sad.
It's because they have to see our beautiful faces. That's the important thing. They had to come in here and see us. That
No, but no, because I'm puffy because of my medications.
you can be puffy from medication. That's okay.
I do. They had me taking, one of the medications they had me taking was a steroid, that prednisone for the thing. And look at just think back, just stop and think back to the other shows, how you could already see like cheekbone. Look, now it's just fat.
I'm thinking back to the other shows. You look good, Dee. Don't worry about it. You look good.
Thank you.
You look good. Okay, I'm sorry. I got to keep going in here because we got a ton of people.
All right.
Kim says that's why I go to Gettysburg if something happens. Okay, if not, still okay. And before I leave an area, I thank whoever's there. Kim, you are doing things the right way, hon. That's what you want to do. That's the way to go. You are doing the right thing. Love Gettysburg. And sometimes, going to Gettysburg, sometimes you just get amazing evidence. Sometimes you don't get much. But you know what? Just the historical aspect of it is insane. So we love it.
You know what they just hashtagged?
What?
The Mixler.
What did they hashtag? Loopty?
Puff, Puffy D.
Puffy D? No, guys, don't do that. That's not nice. Lo- the official hashtag for tonight is Loopd. Loopd.
Loop D.
Just so everybody knows, Loop D. Okay.
Loop D.
Kristen says they still love the box, though. I think they do love the box, but they don't like when I go in with the box early. Just FYI. Tara came back. What about when they go out and stir stuff up in an investigation, and then when they leave, it's worse than before? I've heard about that
Yeah, I've heard
happening
that,
a
that
lot.
that's happened.
Yeah, done some. I'm done commenting now. I talk a lot. No, Tara, we appreciate the great comments. Thank you so much. Totally. We've had people go in and, from my experience, we've had people go in and destroy great locations. I mean, completely wreck
Yeah.
amazing locations. I'll be honest with you, the Sally House, that used to be a place, oh my God, I could not wait to go out there and communicate with the little girl, with Sally. I mean, forget the demons and the doctor and all that mess that's there. But just to try to
Hmm.
talk to Sally and help her get out of that location. Well, you got so many people since they opened it up publicly, they go in there and just torture this poor little girl, 7-year-old girl spirit, and they go in and call her names, blame her for everything that's happened. They have no idea. They haven't done the sessions. They don't know what's happened in that location. We have literally hours of recordings of this little girl crying and talking about how she always gets blamed for the nasty things that people do, and it breaks my heart. And so, not only are these locations wrecked, but I think some of these spirits are becoming trampled, and I think that they're becoming more stuck in these spots, and that just makes me sick. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Um, I lost. There we go. I'm putting in the only reason why I put that in the. I'm sure you see it in the comments, and because they were asking what's Mixler, so I put it in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of our audio side of things. So this is video audio, but we also have mixers where we started. And if you're not able to catch us on Paranormal Warehouse, Mixler's definitely a good option if you can get the app. Listen in the car. You can plug it into your car stereo or whatever, and you can actually listen to us. So it's kind
It's
of cool.
for the people that may not have Facebook. Some people don't have Facebook.
I don't know what's wrong with those people, but anyway, no, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm gonna keep going here. Kim, is there any good software you can recommend for cleaning up recording? Why, yes, Kim, a tech question. I like those kind of questions. Audacity is great, and
Oh yeah, it is good. I have that one.
it's free, 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 free. WavePad Sound Editor is actually my favorite. It's very inexpensive, and I used to not like it, but the more I got into it, because I used to use Adobe a lot, and I get in there, and it's a good program, and you get used to it, but it's very expensive, as most people know. So I switched over to WavePad, and I get just as good a results, and it's basically just as easy to use. So that's one that I would suggest, and it's very little money. So yay, tech question. Yay for me. I like it.
Yay!
Yay.
Um, Bobby is asking. She says, "What are your?" She's t asking me to ask you. What are
Yes.
his? What are his thoughts about meditation to enhance abilities?
Yeah, I think meditation is a good thing. I am not personally able to meditate. My mind races and runs far too much, and I start thinking about things.
Hmm.
I get most of my messages at night during dreams and things like that. So, if you have the ability to meditate, it's amazing. It's a great way to center yourself. It's a great way to receive direct messages from spirit. I always tell people, whether it's dreaming or sleeping at night and dreaming or meditating, keep a recorder by you, your phone, whatever, something that has a recorder on it. And right when you get out of that state, record everything that's on your mind, because sometimes you'll pick up things on a subconscious level that you'll forget about minutes later.
Hmm.
It's really important to document that and write that down.
Yeah, and I know that you've told me before that you get most of your messages through dreams,
I do.
or sometimes, yeah. Because I've never actually heard you. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you meditate, but I've never actually heard you say that that's like your main thing you do.
I can't meditate.
You always say I'm going to sleep on it. That's true. You do say that.
Yeah, I can't. My mind is always racing too much. And the other interesting thing, guys, and I don't know if I've talked about this before. If I have, I apologize. For me, um, I can't meditate because I've got too much going on, and I'll actually once I start to calm myself enough, first thing that happens is I start picking up spirit voice. I start hearing sounds like a radio on in the background, kind of like the box,
Mm.
and there's no way to concentrate at that point. You're done. Um, and a lot of people don't know, I actually sleep with the TV on every night. I have the TV
Me
on,
too.
yeah, and the reason people, why do you do that way? And like if I ever have to split a room with my mom when we're on the road, drives her crazy because she can't stand with the TV's on. She's like, turn off the TV, that kind of thing. But because it's too much light. But the thing is if I don't have that TV on in the background,
The other noise.
the
Yeah.
spirits, it starts as a low rumble and pretty soon becomes this outrageous, like people are screaming in my ears. So that's why I keep a TV on at night. That's kind of my protection against that whole thing.
Yeah, and also I don't know if you get this, but I get the buzzing in the ear.
Yep.
Sometimes sounds like an alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
been and that didn't used to happen to me. That didn't used to happen to me. Why can't I talk, Moon?
because you're on a lot of medication, but that's okay. Go ahead.
That didn't used to happen to me all that often before. It would. It happens to me much more now, where I'll hear it sounds like an alarm, like a buzzing, but it's almost like a beep 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 beep, like that. You want me to do that again?
No, I don't. That reminds me of our first show, Hell. No, boy, we've come a long way. We've come a long way, D.
Oh my God. The
Uh,
first show. Bobby, 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 Bobby.
Love you, love you, love you, Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. It was terrible. I was in hell.
Oh
Really
gosh.
quickly, we've just got so many comments here. Colette, I've got a lot of EVPs on my phone in my house, and I live alone in orbs, and they are not dust. Believe they are amazing. I totally agree with you. Spirit orbs, I know there's a lot of people out there who, oh, dust, moisture, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, it is the pure, genuine spirit orbs, not false positives, but genuine spirit orbs are pure energy. They are human. I'm telling you, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. They are what they are, and I don't care what anybody says. And I can literally, and I promise, if you guys come to one of my events, I can prove to you that these energies are intelligent. I can prove it. That's how confident I am. Um,
Hmm.
let's see here. Believe me, they're amazing. We have some EVPs. James says, Christine, you even have a voice recorder in your phone that works great. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's
people
true.
don't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. You've got a voice recorder on your phone. You can even do the memo thing on your phone.
Yes, and that can be you can get EVPs with your telephone too. So,
Yeah, it's really easy. I've gotten some really great EVPs and some great. Now that cameras are so advanced on your phone, I've gotten some great pictures, some amazing ones.
hmm.
I don't know if you saw it, Dee. Laura says you're still beautiful, even with your purportedly
Aw,
puffy face. So
even with my puffy face.
yeah, they think it's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Um, Jan says I don't know what Mixler is. Okay, yeah, we got that fixed. Channeling your
Oh,
Latina
thank
side.
you, Dina. She wants me to feel better. Thank you, Dina.
Oh, that's a good thing. What crystals? What crystal is healing, Chris? Oh God, there's so many of them out there. Jeez. God, can't even begin to tell you. I've got so many. I actually here. I'll show you. I've got it in my pocket right now. Ugh, this is the one that I use. Here, I'm going to show you. Got it in my pocket. Hold on.
What are you doing?
I'm digging for my crystal because I carry it everywhere that I go. I genuinely.
Oh, how funny. I have a crystal too that I carry everywhere.
Da-da. And this, I use this for grounding. It really does help me out a lot. It makes me feel a lot better. So I keep it everywhere, take it everywhere that I go. So yeah, there's that one. Tim is listening to both Mixler and this. You've confused people, D. Good job. Let's see here. Ann Morales, phone apps for EVPs, anything. Here's my take, and this is strictly me. I don't really believe any of the ghost box apps that are out there. I haven't heard anything on
Hmm.
there that's even made me remotely think that there's anything to it other than a random generator. But if it works for you, it works for you. I would say that the best thing that you can use on your phone is your recorder. And as long as you're able to download it to your computer and really go through it with sound editing software, that's the key. That's what I would say, and that's probably your best way to go. Um,
Hmm.
Laura says, yes, use a Gibson Alone in the Dark. That is how a friend meditates. That is kind of my play guitar. That's how I do meditate quite a bit. Hey, Kyle, good to see you. He says hi to you 2D. I don't know if you saw.
Yes, I can see. Thank
Oh, yeah,
you.
I
Hi,
said, you said
Kyle.
hi. Okay, okay, I'm way behind. Um, yeah, we love you back. Colette says, I get my messages in my dreams as well, but dreaming and having conversations with my mom and dad is great. Yeah, I totally agree. I never use the ghost box to communicate with my loved ones. I don't have a desire to do it. And it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's like they know that because the majority of the time I don't get a lot from them other than a random one here and there. But they will talk to me at night. They'll pass on direct messages to me at night. Boom, I see their face, I have a conversation, and I can retain the information that they give me.
Wow. So and but not through the box. That's interesting. That I mean, they'll come to you at night, but
Yeah.
not through the box. That's really and that's probably because they know you don't want them to through the
Yeah, I
box.
mean, I've told them, this isn't for us. That's kind of how I say it, is this is for other people, and I think that they respect that.
Wow.
I was going. It's funny. I wrote this book. My mom and I wrote this book, and it seems like it's been 10 years. It's been like a year of putting this thing together,
Uh-huh.
and I've written so much that I kind of forgot the stuff that I put in there. And it's funny to go back and read it because we had to do final edit on it. And I was going back. I was like, oh yeah, I did talk about that. And there's a chapter in there that was kind of a funny story about when I was doing this nationally syndicated radio show in Arizona, and my grandfather had just passed away about a week before, and I'm on the air, and the two DJs, long story short, they both were like inconsolable because we made communication with their loved ones when they didn't think it was
Uh-huh.
possible, and then all of a sudden there I am, kind of alone, and my grandpa
Uh-huh.
pops through the box and wants to have a conversation
Wow.
while we're on the air on this radio station. I was like, not now, Grandpa, not now, that kind of thing. So it does happen that way.
So he came through while you were on the air.
Yeah, I was on the air, and it was the Kiss FM, that big nationally syndicated radio thing. So it was just kind of funny how that happened.
Yeah.
Kyle, I agree. Recorders work the best. Totally agree with you on that one. Um, oh,
Recorders. You know what else? I like those infrared cameras. I don't know if you like those, but I think those are pretty cool.
the video cameras or the stills?
The stills.
Oh, just as far as getting like still pictures?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. All my cameras have that like night vision kind of thing on it.
Uh-huh.
I have always loved using like night vision technology or thermal. It's just so cool to actually be able to kind of see what's there when your eyes can sort of
Mm-hmm.
pick up on it. So I do agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Kim, bye, love you. She's out.
Oh, bye,
Um,
Kim.
Kyle, you're awesome. I agree. Your phone recorder is the best. Jarrett says, looking forward to seeing you all in May. Yes, let me bring this up right now. I was actually going to talk a little bit about this. So we have a thing coming up in May. Boy, can you pull up the calendar, D? I don't have it in front of me on the specific
Yes.
date. But we are going to be doing a conference. It's going to be, my mom and I are going to start out the day doing a Moon Family Psychic experience at a really haunted hotel called the Klondike, and this is in Manila, Iowa. And then
It's gonna be May 27th.
May 27th, and this is a Saturday. So my
Yeah.
mom and I start off the day with a psychic thing that we're doing up at this hotel. Then we're heading to the old haunted school. Dee's going to be there. Dan's going to be there. Chris Sutton's going to be there. I don't know if I'm
Mm-hmm.
missing anybody.
No, it's just gonna be myself, you, Dan. Oh, it's Dan, Chris Sutton, you and your mom and myself.
It's going to be just absolutely great. I mean, we've
Mm-hmm.
got some really cool local groups there that are going to be there speaking, helping out vendors, the whole thing. This is the one thing I wanted to say though. I know a lot of you want to go to this, and you're like, see you in May, which I totally appreciate. But the thing is that we got to get tickets sold ASAP. And I know Iowa. Believe me, I'm in Iowa a lot, and everybody kind of likes to hold off till the last minute. But if you really do want to go to this event and make it happen, please get your tickets now. Contact me. I'll post a
Yeah.
link up on Facebook again on all my pages, and you guys can definitely see it there. So anyway, just want to
Yeah,
get that
if
out.
you guys want to go, because they're on the Mixler chat room, they're also saying that they would love to go to it. But yeah, go buy the tickets now. That way, because the tickets need to be bought ahead of time in order to make sure that the event happens. So
Yeah, because we've got, I mean, my mom and I will be driving from Colorado, but you've got Dee coming out from Texas, you got Dan coming from New York. You got it's a lot of expense that goes into that. So if you guys wouldn't mind buying your tickets now and supporting it, we would really appreciate that. Make sure that you're able to come see us and you can take pictures with us and you can see
yay!
the amazing new thing that Dee and I are going to be doing. Because if
Yes,
I won't
yes,
say if, when the event goes forward, we are going to be doing something called. Ready?
yes. Ready? One, two, three.
Box
Box Talk
Talk Live.
Live.
So we are actually going to be filming Box Talk in front of a studio audience. We're going to have everybody there. We're going to have guests. We're going to be playing games. You guys will be interacting with us.
Yes,
It's going to be a whole thing kind of like this, but live and in person. And
yes.
it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to
It's
make it
going to
as
be a lot of fun. We're going to be having participation from the audience and, like Moon said, playing games and whatnot. And that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show when you were like, let's hold off, let's hold off. But that's our big plan. We really want to expand this Box Talk thing and, take it on the road and film Box Talk Live. So it would, in May would be the first one, wouldn't it?
that'll be our first one. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
right.
And I I think we can hold off on announcing everybody who's going to be there for guests and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But it's going to be a lot of fun, guys, and we've got some really cool surprises set up. You guys will be filmed in the audience, asking questions and part of the game and part of the group, and it's our way of kind of saying thank you to everybody out there and making you a part of what we do, including this, obviously. So we're excited about
Hmm.
that. So please go buy your tickets for Manila in May in Manila in
Please.
May. I'll tell you right now, guys. This is some inside information. I'm changing the name of this event, and it's now going to become the Chilla in Manila. That's the new name of the event, and I'm changing it. So I got to still pass that by everybody, but I'm determined. Isn't that so much cooler? The Chilla in Manila instead of Manila in May. No, the Chilla in Manila. I
Chilla in Manila.
I think that's what we got to have. I think that we need a good name. That's what we need. So anyway, but this event's gonna be fun. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff. So
It's going to be a lot of fun. So
yeah,
and I can't wait to see a lot of people out there. And it
yeah.
would be cool, for y'all to be out there, be part of the show, and take pictures with us. And yeah, you guys, you won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, we are going to have a great time. We're really looking forward to that and talking about some cool subjects and bringing on some guests that we really think you guys will love. We're sure about it. Yeah, so it's gonna be really cool. Anyway, so yeah, grab your tickets for that one. The other thing that I wanted to touch base on. Oh, hi, Christy Lynn. I'll say that as well. Dee already did, but hello, Christy Lynn. And she says, "What's up, lovely lady?" And that's how she said it too. I
Just
interpret
like
it.
that.
What's
Sup,
up?
lovely lady.
What's up, lovely lady? Um, Laura, yeah, after your transplant surgery, we will see you then. Understand that's more important. Um, James says wife was leaving work and her car lights started flashing and horn blowing, delayed her from leaving for 2 to 3 minutes. On the way home, there was a major car pileup that had just occurred. Thing is, no alarm system in the car at all. Yes, 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 yes. This happens a lot. I'm going to tell you a story.
Mm.
And it's just like this. So I was working with my dad in Boulder. If you guys know where Boulder, Colorado is, I was working with him in Boulder, Colorado. We actually lived down south in Denver, Highlands Ranch area, and I was working with him at the time. And we left his office and started driving home. Took the back way home, and then out of nowhere on this car, the tire blows. Boom! And we're like, "Oh my god!"
Wow.
So we pull over, changed the tire, do the whole thing, and got back in the car and started driving. So all of a sudden, traffic just stops on the highway, and we're like, "This is
Hmm.
bizarre. This is not the right time." Blah blah blah. Anyway, as we start creeping up, we find there was a semi and a Jeep, an old Jeep Wrangler, had gone underneath the semi and literally was incinerated. And I mean, just like nothing left of this thing other than the frame.
Wow.
And we actually did the timing on it and realized if the tire wouldn't have blown, we would have either been that Jeep or we would have been right in the middle of it and we would have been dead. And we both with that, and my dad's a total skeptic, and he turned to me and he goes, "Oh my God, there's a reason that the tire blew," and that's really what it was. It was divine intervention, and I've seen that happen.
Wow, that's crazy. Um, I'm reading a Bobby wanted me to ask you a question and it
Oh,
went up real quick.
yeah, no problem.
Where did
Christy
it
Lynn
go?
says, "LOL, you too, Chris. LOLOL." L.
Where's your question, Bobby? I just saw it.
Bobby, where's the question?
Where is it?
This isn't good radio, Bobby.
She said she was talking about okay, yes, yes, yes. No, that's not it.
That's not it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Anyway, guys, how are you? Well, D randomly searches for a message because that's what
I
we do.
wanted I wanted to read it. Oh, theory of angels, thoughts on angels and human angels. What's your that's what I wanted to know. What are your theory? What's your theory on angels?
Well,
Thoughts on angels.
that's a big question.
Hmm.
Okay, so angels in general.
There.
Okay, so here's my belief system, guys. I think that when we were first created, when our energy was created, because energy had to be created at one point. That's just how it works.
Hmm.
No matter how you think about things, we were born into what we call a soul circle. So essentially, you were born with a certain amount of souls that are with you, and you spend time either on this side or the other side, together, apart, separated, whatever the case might be, and that's why you
Sort of
run
like
it.
a soul family.
Right. It's same idea, yeah. So you run into these people over and over again. We've talked about it. It's that kind of person you've never met him before, but you feel like you've known him forever. It's that
Oh
kind of
yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
Right. So we know the human spirits, quote unquote human spirits. The other kind of spirit that we're dealing with, though, is an angelic spirit, a guardian, whatever the case might be. They're always on the other side. They're basically there to make sure that everything is controlled within your circle or within just for you specifically. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one type of spirit that we deal with. The other type is obviously people who live and die and cross over and then watch out for you. We know that your family, when they do get to the other side, if you were very close with a family member, they'll spend the majority of their time watching out for you, watching out for your kids, watching out for everything that had to do with you and everything that's important to you. So that would be the human angel aspect of it. And then the third aspect that I always like to throw into that I don't think a lot of people really buy into, but I have no doubt about it, is
Mm-hmm.
animal angels. Um,
Hmm.
they come back repeatedly over and over and over again. You know, let, dog, cat person, whatever you are. I mean, we've all had that one animal that you're
Mm-hmm.
so close to, and it would lay down its life in a heartbeat for you. Doesn't care what you look like, doesn't care what you smell like, doesn't care if your hair's greasy like mine is today. They're always there for you. They're always watching out for you, and there's just that really unique, deep kind of love. And we definitely do have those that are out there, and I think they come back to us many, many times over. There was just a movie about that where they actually abused an animal to prove a point or something. But anyway, the
Hmm.
premise of it was real. That I think these animals' souls keep coming back over and over again. They're just pure. They're pure angels.
Yeah. That's a good theory. And what about, do you think, because her question was like almost a two-parter. She said theory on angels and thoughts on angels and human angels. Do you think there would be a difference between the non-human, um, of course, and then the human? I mean, do you explain it as earthbound? Like earthbound would be one, and then
No.
you have your celestial ones, and then you have what's your theory on that?
Well, that's kind of what I was breaking down is that you've got the ones that are strictly on the other side. They never come here specifically. They've never lived in a human body, put it that way.
Yeah,
And then you've got people who are in your soul circle, you know, parents, sisters, brothers, whatever the case might
yeah.
be, that are with you, and then they cross to the other side, and then they become a protector for you. They become a guardian, a guide. So that's the human angel aspect to it.
Okay. All
And
right, that makes sense.
uh, oh, Christy Lynn, isn't that funny, Chris? I work professionally also, and my dad is a total skeptic like yours. Yeah, it seems like that's the way, Christy. I don't know why that is. It seems like we have to have that doubter in there to kind of make us work harder. I think that's how it works, is to prove to them that this is real. I know that that was my mission for a long time. Um, Kyle came in. Kyle, always love you, buddy. Moonie Dee, behind my work, there's a road called Cold Creek Road. I was going down there the other night. Power died into the car. Heard this high-pitched screaming. Sounded like someone was being murdered. Seen a
Hmm.
woman in the distance, completely dressed in black. Found out that there was a house behind the road that burnt down in the 1800s, along with a woman hung for being accused of the occult. Very
Wow.
interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
There's two sides to that one, Kyle, that I would say. You may be dealing with a intelligent spirit. What I mean by that is a spirit that's genuinely there, still active in that area, either earthbound or on the other side, attempting to reach out and communicate or ward people off. That's one type of spirit that you could be dealing with. The other type of spirit that you might be dealing with, we talked about a little bit last week, was stone recordings, where it's just the image of that person that's come back almost like a video playing over and over again, and you might have just happened upon that. So it could be one of two things, but it's amazing either way.
It could be stone recording. It could be something like that. Like the stone recordings we were talking about last time.
Yeah, exactly. And you really don't know. And that's one of those things that if you don't, have the ghost box, which I am blessed and fortunate to have, that might be a situation if you're interested in it, you might want to go out there and do some genuine investigation and just
Mm-hmm.
do an EVP session. Because one thing I'll tell you is if it's a spirit that's trying to communicate or ward you off, they will respond in one way or another to the recording. If it's a stone recording, you're not going to get any response whatsoever. It doesn't have intelligence, so it's not going to be able to get in touch with you.
Timothy wants to know what is the most haunted object or objects you've ever seen or experienced?
Oof.
You don't have any experience in that, Moon. Come on.
No, none whatsoever. I have
Not at
no
all.
idea, no idea. Other than the creepy haunted dolls that we were talking about the other night,
Oh my God.
crazy creepy
Yeah.
haunted dolls. There's all that kind of stuff. Annabelle and all the ones that are out there. But I think the one thing that I found that was interesting a long time ago, this was probably, I'm going to date myself here, probably 2002-ish, maybe, uh,
Uh-huh.
doing an investigation of a property and found an old gun.
Uh-huh.
And it was, I think, Civil War era type of gun. And whenever it was inside these people's house, activity was insane. It just went nuts. I mean, to the point of violence. And then when the gun was removed out of the house, they didn't have that same situation, but the person who possessed the gun did have that. And we never really determined. The spirit really never spoke to us or told us exactly who they were. But I'm fully in the belief that whoever was attached to that was somebody who died with that in their hands. Um, so yeah, that's one of my crazy stories.
Wow. And but that wasn't like it didn't belong to you, right?
No, no, no. It was an investigation that we were called in on, and
Oh.
we just got in there, started doing the investigation, and all of the activity and energy, the readings from the EMF and everything else were coming from the area where this gun was, and finally we determined that's what it was, and did some experimentation and testing with it, and the EM spike stayed with the gun, and the EVP communication went along with it as well.
Have you ever been around like let's say when you're doing an investigation or you're just in a location trying to, feel it out before you do an investigation or whatnot. And have you ever noticed or been drawn to a certain area of the house or the location where there's an object and then that particular object just makes you sick? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, a lot of times. I don't know if it's necessary. Sometimes it's the object, and other times it's just that portion of the room where something took place.
Uh-huh.
Um, Quick example, I'll give you another one. Lizzie Borden house,
Okay.
Fall River, Mass. Everybody knows Lizzie Borden took an axe. The whole story that goes with that.
Uh-huh.
So I used to do kind of an experiment. It was an on-the-fly experiment. It was really cool to prove to people how energy held to a specific location. And I totally did it just on the fly. We were going to do the initial investigation the first night that we were there, and we went up to
Uh-huh.
the room, which is called the Morse room, where the stepmother was murdered. And everybody knows she was kind of over somewhere. It looked like she might have been making the bed, but she fell over beside the bed, and that's where she died. So what I did is I took half the group in and left half the group outside, and I said, I'm going to try to prove a point and show you how energy can stay in a spot if there's a traumatic thing that takes place. And they said, okay.
Uh-huh.
So what I did is I went outside and I said, don't say anything when they come in. These people hadn't been through the house yet. Grabbed a woman, I brought her in, and I said, hey, I just want to do an experiment with you. Come stand in the spot for me, and do me a favor. And I stood behind her and I said, close your eyes, just tell me how you're feeling. And I said, and then let your body do whatever it feels like it's going to do. And
Mm-hmm.
this woman fell backwards, right back into my arms, complained of
Wow.
nausea, complained of a headache, complained about all these different things. And I said, okay, thank you. And she goes, what is this about? Next person came in, same thing. Next person came in, same thing. And what it was the axe attack that took place on her was so dramatic in that spot that the energy had actually imprinted itself directly into that location. And so people, when they would go in there and just close their eyes and put their head back, they would immediately fall backwards, feeling the impact
Wow.
of the axe. And they would complain of headaches, nausea, and things like that. And it's one spot where I still to this day can't stand there for more than maybe 10 minutes at a time, or I start to feel ill.
Wow. See, and that was probably more the location than it was any object. So I guess it goes
Right.
both ways.
Right. And,
Um,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then they also found the axe, the head to the axe that they believe was the murder weapon underneath the wash basin downstairs. So that was still in the house too as a trigger. So could have had something to do with it.
That's true. That's true too. Because, like for example, I know of locations here in town, older locations where people they claim to go that and they investigate or whatever, and there's certain rooms that they can't walk into because they just automatically they feel sick to their stomach
Right.
or they feel nauseous, they want to throw up, they want and it's the accounts are the same with every team or every person that has gone there to investigate the location.
Right.
So then, my thought on that is if everybody always feels sick to their stomach or something, it's the same symptom, then it's got to be something that happened whenever it happened, like maybe the person got shot in the stomach, and then that's why
Right.
they all feel sick to the stomach. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like they because they're all feeling the same thing.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that that's what it is. My mom is like the best when it comes to that kind of thing too. Uh, she can walk into a location. She has that empathic sense that kind of hits right
Uh-huh.
off the bat, and immediately she starts to tell uh-oh, I feel sick and I know something's going on. She's got a really strange ability to be able to do that.
Like she probably instead of she feels what happened.
Right. Yeah, it's
Wow.
that empathic thing. Um, I can always go on about the million stories I've got, but one situation we had, which is exactly on the same line, which is a cool story because it's a mix between a stone recording and an active spirit, which is something you don't normally see. Um, we did an event at a place called the Lafitte Guest House in New Orleans years and years ago, and we didn't know a whole lot about this place. The place was recommended to us, so we showed up to the location, got inside. We had the rooms for the night, and they said we put you guys up in a suite upstairs. So one room has a bed, the other room has a bed, and it's kind of separated. We're like, cool. So we got upstairs, got into this room, and I got to admit, like right when I got in there, I had the feeling. It was like, well, not only was it New Orleans, old, creepy, the musty smell, the whole thing, but it just felt
Uh-huh.
ugh. And I went, this doesn't feel right. So looked at both rooms, and I saw the one had a big bed and the other one had a little bed. So I figured, well, I'm big and my mom's little, so I'll put her in the little room. She wasn't happy about that. So it just made sense. And so, anyway, so we got into this thing, and she turned the corner to go into the other room, and all of a sudden, I mean, she turned like paper sheet white, and she started yelling and screaming, and she started getting sick. And I was like, "What is going on? What's wrong?" She goes, "No, I can't do this. Bring the box. Bring the box. Bring the box." So I had to pull the ghost box out at that point and actually go into the room with
Uh-huh.
her. And the story that came out, what she saw when she got in there, was validated. That she saw a man, large man, standing over the bed with a small child by his
Wow.
side, and he had some sort of weapon. I can't remember what the weapon was in his hands. And there was his wife in the bed, and her lover, who my mom says was like a gorgeous French guy at the time, a younger French guy, that were literally shot and killed inside the bed. And the little girl was crying. He had caught the wife sleeping with this guy, and that's what had happened.
Oh
And the
no.
little girl had witnessed it, and the whole deal. She, I can't sleep in here. I can't sleep in here. So I finally was like, well, you gotta sleep somewhere. So she did sleep in there in the night. But the interesting thing about that was the spirits kept trying to reach out to her during the nighttime. She saw the stone recording, but the spirits were still actively there trying to communicate with her. So in the morning, we went downstairs to the front desk, and she walked up to him. She goes, "Hey, listen, do you have any record of?" And she gave the whole story. And these people were
Uh-huh.
like, "We don't tell anybody about that. That happened in 17, blah, 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 blah. We
Wow.
don't put it out there because nobody will sleep in the room. It's a whole thing." So that was a huge validation for both of us.
Yeah, because wow. So they were probably freaked out that she saw that she knew about it.
Oh yeah, if because they never told anybody about this. It was something that they
Wow.
were told by management to keep under wraps. That it just was not something that wanted to be put out
Your
there.
mom is just awesome, man.
She is.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, she blows me
Like,
away.
And I remember, I'm sure I remember when she told me, when she was telling me about my my foot and my knee problem.
Right.
And the last thing she said after saying that, she's like, "And you're gonna have more problems starting towards the top somewhere."
Yeah.
And look at my neck now.
Right. Yeah.
So
She truly is like the doctor psychic. She
she
does.
is.
I have to be careful with her because when you give information to people about health and things like that, you can be held liable. So there's times that I have to stop her, and she's like, "No, no, I have to tell them." I'm like, "No, don't say anything because we could get sued for this." So I have to tell her to be very general with a lot of readings because she
Yeah.
can be really specific, but it scares people sometimes, which I understand. Um,
Um. Oh, we both said at the same
I know
time.
we're getting ready to jump back in. Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
well, I want to read Timothy in the chat room, and I think he wrote it in both chat rooms. He says, "Hey, Moon and Dee, I want to tell you something. You guys do a good job. I love your shows and what you do. When I come in and tune in, you guys just make me laugh. I even love your laugh, Dee. Question, Dee, how are you feeling, and are you doing better? Love you guys. God bless you all and everyone in the chat." Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Timothy.
thanks,
That's an
Timothy.
awesome
Love you
comment.
back, buddy. Thank you.
I'm doing okay.
The meds are helping.
Meds are helping, but not really. I mean, I still have pain. I'm just gonna ask everybody, just keep me in your prayers because I don't want surgery, but I might need it.
She's gonna need surgery.
I know. Moon knows it. He already, yeah, but
Yeah.
I really don't want to. Just keep your, you know what? Let's hope that it happens with enough time to where I can still make it out to Chilla in what is it?
The Chilla in Manila.
Because we gotta do Box Talk
I think
Live.
I know it's gonna be okay, and I don't think it's gonna be as big of a surgery as you think it is. That's my
I
feeling.
hope not.
Oh wait,
Guys,
I
I
said
don't.
that on air. I'm gonna get sued. Oh God. There we go. I'm gonna get sued now. I just said not to do it, and I did it.
I keep, I
David,
keep,
don't sue me.
I keep being like a what do you call a drama queen with Moon. I'm like, I don't want to die, Moon. Like,
That's what she's always telling me. We got to do the show before I die. I'm like, shut up. I'm not gonna die. There's there's
I'm
no
like,
death.
we have to do one Box Talk Live before I die. I'm gonna
And I
die.
told her we're gonna do at least two before she dies. She doesn't believe me. God, such yeah, a downer. Ugh. Anyway, on that note, Tara Hoover. Just kidding, D. In North Denver, Wheat Ridge, actually. I know where you're at. If you ever do a show out here, I'm there, LOL. I know a lot of people that would love to come too. Well, I will tell you something, Tara. We do a lot of events at two places in Colorado. Two places. One is the Lumber Baron Inn in the Highlands neighborhood, and you can watch a whole thing on the Ghostbox Chronicles episode 1 about that and learn a little bit about that one. And the other one that we do is the Molly Brown House, and we are the only paranormal psychic group that does events at the Molly Brown House. So I will definitely post that information for you, where we're going to be and all that kind of fun stuff, and let you know. And we're also doing a book signing event at the Lumber Baron Inn with a date to be determined. Thank you, Elaine and Joel. Mwah, love you guys. Okay, really quickly, were you going to cut me off?
No.
No, you were going to cut me off. I know you were. Um, okay, hola. Oh, Leonor. Leonor. Leonor.
Where?
Huh?
Where? There's a Leonor in there?
Leonor.
Is that my friend Leonor what?
Lille.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Never
anyway,
mind.
Soto Leo. Hola. Might have been your friend. It said hola. So, so yesterday I took my child to urgent care. Oh, I'm sorry. They are okay. That's good. But while I was there, my mom called and asked me out of the blue if I was okay. She felt that something was wrong. Any ideas? Um, I can tell you from this point, my mom always looking out for me, that energy you have with a child. I think anybody who has a kid kind of knows this. And then, like with my daughter, too, I will pick up on things out of absolutely nowhere sometimes. It's just, you get a vibe and you get a jump on it. I know a lot of people who've gotten feelings and haven't expressed it to their kids or their parents or whatever the case might be, and they end up regretting it. One thing, and I'm going to just tell you the impression I'm getting as I'm reading this, because you said she said she heard me calling out to her. Um, I'm getting something, and I'm not trying to freak you out. This isn't a bad thing, but I'm just trying to kind of give you a heads up to be cautious. I'm getting something with a vehicle, with a car, and I don't know exactly what that is, but I think this. I keep getting three, and I think weeks is what we're 3 weeks out. Within the 3 weeks, something about an auto situation,
Hmm.
and a malfunction. There's a malfunction that happens with the vehicle, and it's something I'd like you to keep in the back of your mind. Don't make it a focus, but just keep it in the back of your mind, because I feel like you're going to need to have a quick reaction to the situation. And synchronicity is telling me that we're having this kind of conversation right now to protect you in this situation. So, I could be nuts, but that's the impression that I'm getting. So please be careful. That's really important.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, okay, really quickly, James, I think there are spirits, not necessarily angels, that walk among us, and everybody is just too busy to notice them. I would agree. Um, Colette, I'd love to go to one of your investigations. It would be great. In the UK, there are a lot of haunted places. Colette, I have some good news for you. Colette, it looks like, possibly maybe, the book tour that my mom and I are going to be starting for Llewellyn, for our book Ghost Box, is going to be starting in August. And the book comes out first couple of weeks of August. And things are falling into place for some weird reason for us to get over there for a couple of weeks over to England. So
Ooh.
I am going to actually be reaching back out to my friend with Sage Paranormal and hopefully setting up an event and probably a week-long book tour out there. So you could come meet us, me and my mom at least, not Dee. Sorry, Dee. And you, you can
God.
you sorry, but you can meet us out there, get your book signed, and hopefully come on an investigation with us, and that would be a lot of fun because we don't have
Oh
a
my
lot of chances
gosh,
to do that.
that's gonna be the Moon minus D tour.
That is the Moon minus Detour. That's actually what I was going to name it, and it's weird that you just said that. Um,
Moon, you have to incorporate box talk.
I don't know how I'm doing that one with England. Sorry. Don't know how that's happening. Uh, Tara says, I agree with you. The animals coming back, especially ones you love and have with same as family. Totally agree with you on that one. Hello, April. Hello, Christine. Kyle, we love you. I'm just trying to get everybody in because I know we're running out of time. Getting a little low. April loves creepy dolls. She just wanted to put that out there. Um, uh,
Just let us know. She
yes,
likes creepy dolls.
she likes creepy dolls. Hey, we all have our thing. Um, Kyle, Moonie Dee, is the Annabelle doll actually possessed by the dark? I believe so. Yes.
Yes, it is.
I
Yes.
think that there's been enough documentation to say that there's some really nasty things that have happened with that. And it's not just one person or one group or investigator. There's been a chain of documented events that have been associated with that doll. I say yes.
Yes, and if you do real research on it and go read some of the real accounts and I mean there's case files and things like that you can find. You'll see a lot of the cases have similarities involving the doll. So I'm with Moon on that one. Yes, I
Hi,
believe it is.
and I want to say hi to Cheyenne because Dee said it in the chat room, but I didn't have a chance to yet. April, again, past the creepy doll thing. I have. It was a baby rocker. I like to touch things and feel. Boy, April, you are sharing a lot of information about yourself tonight. I don't know
Wait,
exactly what's going
I
on
don't
here.
understand. Wait, you didn't finish. All I heard you
No,
say was
I.
I like to touch things and feel, and then that was
Okay,
it.
April Dunn took. I'm going to read her exact message in here, quoting it. I have. It was a baby rocker. I like to touch things and feel. Hand to God. Okay. You're making Dee laugh. It doesn't take much right now for her. Oh, and she gets images. Okay. That finishes it off. Thank you, April. Didn't I just didn't get the whole level of touching and feeling, and then it just didn't work. Now we're okay. We got it. We got this back together now.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
and there she goes. There she goes. This is Loopty. Okay, back to serious. Uh, James says our son-in-law suffers nightmares, night terrors, and actual paralyzation from. Oh, and there's the defud. Go ahead and start reading again once.
Oh my God. Sorry.
It's not a funny thing. It's nightmares, night terrors. It's not funny. We're not supposed to laugh at things like that.
Sorry. Okay, I'm okay.
James says our son-in-law suffers from nightmares, night terrors, and actual paralyzation from dreams that sound like astral projection involved. Any opinion? Yes, a lot of the time people are astral projecting in those cases, and it really does cause some very real physical things to take place. Dee's breathing again.
Hmm.
Laura says, have traveled Donner's past as a child had to be sedated. Is that the past replays over and over? Yeah, that's exactly like it, Laura. That's the thing. When we talk about stone recordings, you're picking up on all that emotion, everything that happened in that location, and today we know a little bit more about Donner that those people weren't necessarily dead. That he was just taking them out one by one so that he could eat. So that's a pretty bad thing. Right up the hill from me, right up the mountain. That's what you guys say in Colorado.
Hmm.
It's right up the mountain.
Right up the mountain.
Hmm.
Oh, look. Look at that on Mixler. It went from okay, talking about creepy dolls, Annabelle, and then bah ha 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 ha. Yay. Ah, Dee's laughing. Music to our ears. This is great.
Yeah, it is good to hear Dee laugh because, wow, who's got two thumbs and a ego? That girl. Um, No, it is. It's good. It's good to hear Dee laugh again. That's something we've been hoping to do. It's been a tough couple of weeks for her and everybody around her. So we are. And obviously, big shout out to David for taking care of her as well as he has been. And he's been. I hear him all the time in the background, chasing after her and getting her to appointments and doing all the stuff that he's doing, waiting on her hand and foot. So thank you, David, for helping her out. Obviously,
He has been. He's been really good taking care of me and stuff.
yeah, that's so important. You're getting lots of love and hearts on that one. Um, Colette comes back and says, I've been to a very haunted place in the UK in Mansfield called The Village. It was amazing, very active. It's a Brill place. Oh, brilliant. That's I think, right? Brill?
I
Brilliant?
think so.
Okay. I'm not.
Real
I feel,
place.
I'm like a dorky kid when it comes to anything that's Europe. What does Brill mean? That's me. Sorry. Okay. Christine says Mama Moon is amazing.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, Dee's leaving.
I'm
Um,
not leaving.
she just left. Mama Moon is amazing. I've met her a couple of times now. She had the most comforting presence. Yeah, that's really interesting about my mom. She does seem to kind of put everybody at ease. It's awesome that she's able to do that. Um, surgery. We're not sure. We're hoping it's nothing serious. We're just hoping that's going to be a quick little surgery for Dee and she's going to be okay. Um,
And guys, I do have to say this again. Um, okay, I'm going to say something. And Moon, this is going to be, this includes you because you were a big part of this. Um, wait, what was I going to say?
those drugs. I don't know what to say.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay. First of all, I've been very, for the past couple of, 4 weeks now? When did I start
It was
my,
about 3 weeks ago.
when
Three
I
and a half
started,
weeks ago.
see, he knows what I'm talking about without me even saying. Well, it was about three and a half weeks ago, and I started, and I was doing really well. Like, I've been losing a lot of weight and coming down, and then this happened, this, and they put me on this medication, and one of the symptoms is weight gain. So I've been very depressed because I feel like I'm super puffy compared to what I looked like before, and so hopefully I can get back to Slim D because Puffy D is no good. And the reason why I said I wanted to mention it because when I had mentioned I think I mentioned it to you, to Dan, and everyone, Moon was like, "All right, you can do it," and he's been like my cheerleader. And whenever I feel like I'm gonna have a donut, I'll text him like, "Moon, there's a donut staring at me," and he's like, "Put it down."
I am.
So
I'm like the drill sergeant coach.
he
Like,
is.
you don't need that donut. Donut doesn't own you. You own the donut.
It's great though, and you know what? I actually listen whenever I see something, any junk, anything, whatever it is, and I'm looking at it, and then I'm like, oh, donut, donut, and I swear, I could hear Moon's voice in the back of my head, like, don't do it, D. Oh, come on. Oh, no, no. And, oh, I can't believe you. And like, I see him disappointed, so I
Yeah,
put it down.
we had a whole conversation about that. The food attacked her. She tried to tell me that the food attacked her one
It
night,
did.
and the food was attacked her. I said, "Food doesn't attack people, D. People attack food.
It did attack me.
We don't buy that. But
But
it's okay.
thank you, Moon. You've been awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I've been able to help you, and yeah, I've been trying to give myself some positive reinforcement here lately too. So hopefully, we'll both get on track. We're going to be good.
But I just hope I don't look too puffy
You
compared
don't
to
look
the.
puffy. You look good. Everything's good.
Yay.
Yay. And we got to laugh too. That's really important. Um, Kyle, I don't know if you read this, but Kyle is actually going to have a mass said for you to get healthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's really sweet. That's really nice of
Oh,
you.
how sweet. Thank you so much, Kyle. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I
April
can
sending
use.
you, April sending you healing light.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And
Uh,
then I'll be back to my not loopy D. I think I'm doing a good job though, right? I'm kind of sort
no,
of.
you're very coherent. In the beginning, it wasn't so good. When I talked to you earlier, I was like, "Oh, how am I going to do the show?" But I'm feeling a little bit better about it now. I think we're doing okay.
That's
Hey,
good.
Philip, I got to tell you guys, Philip Wyatt. I want to say this really quickly. He's one of the listeners, people in the chat room. This guy has impressed me so much. He invited me to his private ITC group, and this guy's in it for the right reasons. He's always putting something in about the history of ITC, where it's come from, where it's going. puts up experimentation, puts up new equipment, old equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy, I've been so impressed with his group, and he just put up something yesterday, and I'm not going to quote it right now because I don't have it in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, there's very few things that blow me away. If you guys know the story that I tell about the skull experiment, how I kind of was named in the skull experiment and didn't know it, about using the device, taking it out in the field, the whole thing like that, and that blew me away. He posted something yesterday that he allowed me to repost back on my wall, and I'm paraphrasing here, but
Uh-huh.
basically it talked about experiments that were being done in the early 80s by these people, and they started getting these voices that came over radio frequencies,
Uh-huh.
and they sounded like kind of tinny, strange voices that were coming in. And long story short, they said, "Well, what are you?" And I said, "Well, we're neither energy nor have we lived on Earth. Have we done this? You can call me technician. We facilitate the communication back and forth." I,
Wow.
I I fell on the floor. I was like, "Oh my God! I had never heard about this in my entire life." And if you guys know, when I went to the Sally house, first time I used Frank's box in the field, turned this thing on, didn't know if it worked. It just hit me, and I said, "Technician's assist." I thought I was being an idiot, and they were literally downloading to my brain to say technicians assist. And this had come out, and I think, if I'm right, 1984 is when the first communication came through, and they said that these technicians facilitated communication across the bridge. So to me, because I always have to question, Dee, I tell you all the time, I always have to say,
Mm-hmm.
am I crazy? Am I nuts? I have to wake up every morning and
No,
go,
of
is it
course,
just
yeah.
me? Because I think if you don't check yourself every day, you could have problems. You can get delusional. But to get that kind of validation between that came through and the thing with the skull experiment so many years ago, incredible stuff. So I just want to say a special thanks to Philip for posting on the history of ITC, Spiricom, and the new experimentation that's being done. You're doing a lot of good work, and I thank you for the invite to the group. I'm glad to be part of that community. I just wanted to say that.
That yeah, and you know what? That is that would have blown me away as well. You know,
And if you
the
guys,
whole
yeah, if you want to see it, it's actually posted up on my wall. If you guys want to go check it out, it's just mind blowing.
yeah. I did see that you posted it up and you tagged everyone on, not everyone, but you tagged a bunch of people.
Right,
So yeah, and when I read that, I was like, "Oh my gosh," because that's what you always say, technicians assist, and
right,
you're technicians, and when you end a session, you always thank the technicians,
right.
and it's crazy, right? Like it's wow.
Yeah, you would think it was nuts, and yeah, I remember one of my naysayers years ago was like, "Oh, really good gimmick that you came up with. These nerdy spirits that are on the other side running your sessions, blah 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 blah." And I said, if it was up to me and I had to create this wild story that was out there, I would make it much more spectacular. I'd make it Star Wars like. I said, so when it comes down to technicians, I don't know why I said technicians, but this was just such
That's
a
just
huge.
what came to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just a validation. And they said, we work on this project. We're on this side working on this project, and it just, yeah, and to get that kind of validation, to realize that there was people working in 1984 talking to technicians who said, we facilitate communication across the bridge. Mind blown.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you said that you read that story, was it yesterday?
Yeah, he posted it up yesterday, and I posted it to my wall.
Wow. And yeah, you must have been
Oh, I couldn't.
my
I mean, and I was going around to people, and people who didn't respond the right way, I was like getting mad at them. I'm like, "Don't you realize what this means?" I was like really getting upset. But I think the reason for that, though. I mean, I wasn't trying to be weird or a jerk or anything, but I think sometimes if you don't stop to look at how amazing this is that we're able to have direct two-way communication with spirits on the other side. They answer questions, they bring through their personalities. We deal with
Uh-huh.
all these amazing things. I think sometimes, and I'm guilty of it to a certain degree, it sometimes becomes so passe. It's like, oh yeah, turn on the box, talk to some dead people, great. Talk to some angels, yeah, great. Oh my God. Think about what we're doing. Think about this communication that we have going, and that people are literally hearing the voices of their loved ones who've passed onto the other side. And I think a lot of times it just becomes like out there, just blows me away.
I think are we still on the
Yeah, we
are we still
lost
on
we
the
lost OBS for a second, but we're back. No big deal. And it did
oh,
record.
okay.
So guys, if you missed that little section that we had, it's going to be on my YouTube channel coming
Okay,
up,
good.
and you can go
I'm
back and
like,
watch
I
the whole
think we lost.
episode because that was important. I think what we were just talking
It
about,
was very important.
because
And
it's glossed over now. I mean, we have this amazing ability not to just think that we're hearing things or oh, that's kind of cool, it's a synchronicity. We are hearing the voices of people who have passed away coming through a machine, and they're bringing through messages of love and hope and forgiveness and closure. And I think sometimes we just need to stop and realize how amazing that really is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got a little bit scared right now. I thought, uh-oh, did we go into the other show time?
Oh, that'd be bad.
Yeah, but no, but we're not. I think we have 2 hours.
Okay, I thought that's why we started so early today, so I apologize. Hey, Christy Lynn, really quickly going back to the car situation I was talking about, I agree with you. She says it's going to be the brakes. I have a feeling it's something to do with brakes or something about steering or something. I agree, it's something in that range. Be prepared to turn the wheel. I agree with you on that one. Mediums working together, like that. That works well.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, please just pay attention. Don't freak out and yeah. Moonie Dee, you look amazing tonight. God, Kyle, I love you. You are the best. You're
He
amazing.
is. You know what? You know what? When we have to when we take, and like I said, I'm not gonna say if, I'm gonna say when. When we
Yeah.
take our Box Talk Live show, I can't do it like you do.
Box Talk Live.
When we take that on tour,
Mhm.
Kyle's got to get a free pick with us, you
Oh
know?
yeah, no, picks will never be charged for. So
Yeah.
you guys, when you come to the events, we're gonna take lots of pictures. We're gonna be goofy. We're gonna do para karaoke. We're gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's gonna be so much fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're really looking forward to that. I'm just looking through here really quickly. Got so many people talking. Tara, awesome, thank you. I love the Molly Brown house. I'm sorry I didn't hear what you said in the Highlands. It's called the Lumber Baron Inn. Uh, like I said, Ghost Box Chronicles, episode one. Go to my YouTube channel, watch that. Use headphones. Use headphones. Do not listen to it in the open air, please. Very important, but that'll be the one you want to watch. Um, oh, and can I do a pimp thing real quick here, D?
Go ahead.
Okay, I have to because tonight, half an hour after our show ends, so in what is it, 40 minutes from right now, we're going to be premiering episode 3 of the Ghostbox Chronicles, and I'm excited about this one for two reasons. Number one, I was obviously involved and did the readings and stuff like that, but I wasn't able to be around for a lot of the editing that took place and the production on this one. So I'm going to be watching it for the first time along with you guys.
Ooh.
So it's going to be kind of cool to see that. And this is a different one. We actually did a psychic event, my mom and I, the Moon Family Psychic Experience at the Molly Brown House a
Hmm.
month ago, month and a half ago. And we shot some things there, but then we did two really cool private readings at a place up the street called the Capitol Hill Bed and Breakfast Mansion, and it's featured. And the two things that are on there are incredible. The validation that came through, really cool stuff. So if you guys tune into my YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube, Man is the Moon, that's me.
Man, it's the moon.
Man is the Moon, and subscribe to my channel and watch. It's going to be, yeah, exactly in 40 minutes from now. So I'll be watching right along with you guys. And I want to thank John from our team for doing such an awesome job. He really took it on himself to get this episode put together, and I promise I will be more involved in these future ones. Oh, speaking of which, John just messaged me. He said that it's actually going to be delayed a little bit. They're having some problems on the upload right now for whatever reason. So right
Okay.
now it says it's about an hour and 15 minutes, so it might be delayed till a little bit later tonight. But definitely keep stopping in, check back, and watch it along with me. But I'm glad that he got on here and told me they're having some upload issues. But thanks, John, for all the hard work that you did, editing, directing, putting everything together, and my last little pimp thing, and we'll jump on. Um, I'm actually going in to do some finalizing stuff with my music video tomorrow for The Spirits Are Calling.
Ooh, yay.
So it looks like that's going to be coming together in the next few weeks, couple of weeks, few weeks. And
Awesome.
yeah, and then after the cool thing about that is that we've really taken on a super professional approach to the filming of the Ghost Box Chronicles now. So the next episode that you're going to see after this one is going to be a new intro with that song, part of the video, and some cool highlight
Yay.
stuff. And we've been able to get some lights together and some really great cameras and things like that. So the next episode should look a lot like a quality production TV show that you would see on any network. So we're excited about that.
Awesome.
And I'm
That
done
is
pimping.
all awesome news.
Yes.
And and it's gonna be tonight. He said delayed how long? Like 30-minute delay or?
No, it's going to be a couple hours from what it says right now. I would
Ooh,
just tell
okay.
people to keep checking back for it. If you can't see it tonight, definitely watch tomorrow morning. But usually what happens is it looks like it's delayed for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll just pick up and be on.
Hopefully it still goes on tonight because don't you do the live afterwards?
We're not going to do a live for this one, just because it wasn't a lot of interaction with Facebook this time around. It was more of a
Oh,
psychic
okay.
type of thing.
Yeah.
So I probably won't be doing a Facebook Live on this one, but you will see next time. And that's the other thing I was going to say too, is that Live Inside the Box is going to be a bigger deal next time around too. It's going to be a cool deal. It's going to be really interesting. I don't want to give away too much, but it's going to be fun. So
You
anyway,
just like to tease. It's
I
gonna
do.
be something. It's gonna be great. Yeah, you guys, it's gonna be good. Like, yeah.
It is. It's going to be good. I just don't want to say too much because mysteriously our ideas somehow get confiscated by other people when we say too much. So
Well, yeah, that's true too. So
yeah, so that's one
you
of those
got to be
things.
careful.
Yes, you do.
And Dee's still narrating.
Yes, Dee is still narrating. She did the narration for this one as well. She was more involved in the post production than I was on this one. So yeah,
What?
yeah, she did more on that than I did. So yeah.
How did I do more?
Well, like I said, John was basically doing all the editing and direction work and putting everything together, soundtrack and all that stuff, and you recorded, so you've officially done more than me on the post.
Wow. That's
Just so we know, Kailash, and I don't know, I hope I'm pronouncing, if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, I'm sorry, my apologies. Kailash says hi, good morning.
hello. Good
Uh,
morning.
Jessica is back. Hi, Jessica. And then Kailash, can you please tell me, can I talk to my dead parents? Um, Yeah, Kailash, you can. I always do personal readings. If you need to get in touch with me, you can go ahead and email me. My website is chrismoonpsychic.com, and you can actually book an appointment with me there. That's the best way that we can do it. And you'll have 20 minutes of video time back and forth to not only see me and see what I do, but also hear hopefully the voices of those people that you're trying to reach. So, chrismoonpsychic.com, best way to do it.
Yeah, you could just go to his website and book one there. And over here on the Mixler, oh, look at that! Look, they want you. You already do your awesome psychic stuff,
Sure.
and now they're saying you need to be a trainer because since you keep me away from junk food, people want the same service.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I got to get my ass back in gear too before I become any kind of trainer. I got to get back in my shape that I need to be, but I've let myself slip a little bit. But yeah, I would be happy to be anybody's motivation.
But but it's perfect because like I'll see whether it's Doritos, what anything sweet, whatever. I'm looking at it, and then I'm like, Moon said no.
And
Moon said
and
no.
if you make me mad, I get the death metal voice going. I say
Yeah.
no, and then see, and then yeah, and then you go, oh my god, that guy's scary. Jessica needs a coach in her life. I can do that for you.
I
Um,
remember, didn't it happen one time where I messaged you? I'm like, there's a donut, and you called me. You're like, don't do it.
Yeah, no, sometimes you just have to tell people, be like, don't do it. See, I didn't have that when because I don't know if you guys knew, I was like 200 and, God, like 240 pounds. I was huge. I was a big
No,
guy.
you weren't.
Yeah, I was really big. If you look back at my old
Pictures or it
pictures.
didn't happen.
Oh, no, there's pictures. There's plenty of pictures. You can look online. I would burn them if I could. But yeah, I was like
Oh,
240 pounds, and in a 3 month period, just from literally exercise, diet, and pure determination, I dropped down to 149. And,
wow.
and that was a just it was an insane journey for me. It was a big deal, but obviously I haven't kept down at 149, but I'm nowhere near where I was either. So I just want to get myself back to
Yeah,
yeah, I want to drop about 20 pounds, get back down to where I want to be.
but you're fine.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that. But my happy place is 20 pounds down, so I'm gonna get there, so I feel good about myself.
Oh, Moon, you're fine. You're fine.
See, I'm being my coach. I got to be tough on myself.
You
Um,
gotta be, yeah.
Misty says that stories will make you hungry. That's coming from a nurse to let you know. Um, Colette had to go. Bye, Colette. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you soon. I'm just, oh boy, I'm trying to jump around really quick. We only have, you're welcome, Philip. I mean it when I say it. Uh, oh, April did read that post that I put up on my wall. It's amazing. I totally agree. I'm trying to get through the end of this because I know we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Philip says, my mom that's alive, but Alzheimer's has come through, says my name. Yeah, Philip, let me tell you, next week, or actually tomorrow night, if you remind me, if you come on to the Box Talk with Moonie and Dee show tomorrow night, let me share a story about my grandmother who had severe Alzheimer's, and she was very psychic, and what used to happen with her, too. I'd love to share that story with you. Um, card.
Uh,
I'm trying to read through so many of these guys, and I know we've only got a few minutes left, and we have a great show coming up. It's the ectoplasm show, right, Dee?
yeah, yeah. After our show is the ectoplasm show. So stick around and listen to those guys. That's a really great show as
It's an
well.
awesome show. Yeah,
Yep.
and just a little commercial for everybody on the network. Phenomena Encountered. We just have a great group of people together there, and we have an awesome network too with Paranormal Warehouse. We're blessed to be on both. And
Yes.
I'm thankful for the opportunity every single day for both of these. It's been amazing. I feel like we've made so many great friends, with you guys listening, and I swear to you, I know we say this all the time, but Dee and I talk about this constantly. You guys genuinely are awesome, and we consider you
Mm-hmm.
to be not, fans or listeners or whatever, but genuinely friends because you guys come
Friends.
in
Yep.
and we like to have conversations with you, and we like to include you in everything that we do, and we have officially come up with your name now, what we would like to call you from now on.
Yes, that's right.
So, Dee, do you want to share the name of what
Yes.
we would like to call all of our wonderful, wonderful friends?
They are the box talkers.
Box Talkers. We're gonna from now
That's
on. You will
right.
be Box Talker Laura, Box Talker Kyle, Box Talker,
Hmm.
because we think that you guys need to be associated with the show because you are just the best people and you support us so much.
And I've already designed one of the shirts. I just have to put it up, and I'll probably end up
Hurry, Dee.
linking it to our Box Talk Facebook page. And it's gonna be it's kind of cheesy, but I love it. There's no talking like box talking.
I love it. Hey, on that note, guys, we got to wrap it up. We've got the Ectoplasm show coming up next, so we want to say from Mooney Man and
Andy.
thank you so much, Dee. Say your line quick.
All right, guys, smile and remember to make someone else smile too.
Bye,
Tune in
guys.
tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.